Hello friends, welcome back to another market update video. Thanks for all the great feedback you've given us, and because of that, I'm glad you're enjoying it, and we will keep them coming. We'll keep recording and sending them out. Well, we have just a few days left in April at the time of this recording, and we've seen the market bounce from the lows that we saw early in the month. For April, the broad market is still down about 5 to 6% or so. Bonds continue to perform well in this higher interest rate environment, and the broad bond market is up almost 3% year to date, so that's good. So April has been interesting, to say the least, and mostly since April 2nd, when the big tariff announcement happened. Our last video went into great detail why the market reacted, and specifically how uncertainty was created with tariffs, and furthermore, how much the market dislikes uncertainty. I recently did an escape room with my family for the first time. Very interesting. You have a lot of unknowns when you get started, but you solve a couple little puzzles and you kind of gain some confidence. That's how I'm starting to feel right now. We continue to be in this space of vagueness, a lot of unknowns, but we're also hopeful that some trade deals will begin to take shape during this 90-day pause. We're also hopeful, when you study the charts, that they're starting to find its footing. And we'll see, but we're hopeful. So we don't predict the future, as you know that. We don't even try to predict the future, but what we can talk about are scenarios that appear to have the highest probability. So last time I told you about how our economist has lowered his outlook for the year for GDP from mid 2% down to about 1%, and this indicates potential slowing for the economy. So this brings up a really, really good question. If the market's hovering around correction territory, and it could get worse before it gets better, I don't know. Why do we always stay the course? Why do we stay in it and not jump in and out of the market like my kids at the hot tub when they were little? You know how it goes. Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm very glad you asked. I've been doing this for over 2 decades now. It's kind of crazy. Corrections and pullbacks are inevitable. Staying committed to your long-term plan and avoiding panic selling is paramount to achieving your long-term financial goals. Let me give you a very specific example of why this is true. There's a study from FactSet, and I've shared this with some of you, but over the past 20 years, the S&P 500's annualized return has been about 9%, 9.3%. However, missing just a few of the best days can significantly impact your performance. For example, missing the best 10 days out of the last 20 years, 10 days out of the last 20 years, think about that, reduces the average annual return down to about 6%. And missing the best 50 days drops you to just 2.9%. There's around 5,000 trading days over 20 years. And you can't miss the best 51% of them, where your return is cut by 2/3, I'm sorry, I'm not playing that game. Good luck to you if you are. In addition, we know that the best and worst days often occur very near to each other. And nobody rings a bell, nobody tells you when it's happening, it just kind of happens. One of the worst days during the Great Financial Crisis was February 10th, 2009, and one of the best days was just a month later, March 10th, 2009. I'll never forget, because I was at a conference in Las Vegas when it was happening, and it was just historical. It's one of those market moving moments, good alliteration, that you just don't forget. You don't forget that. Crazy COVID 2020 is another example. March 16th was one of the worst days. And March 24th, a week later, was one of the best. Panic selling leads you to miss the crucial recovery days that may be soon to follow. The best way to capture long-term performance is to stay invested. Stay invested. So that is all I have for you today. I really hope this was helpful. Reach out anytime with questions. I always appreciate the feedback, and we will see you next time. Have a great night.